Hey guys, my name's Brandon and today we're taking a look at 24 hidden or not very well known features in iOS 10. So the first feature is a new icon. So this is a lock icon that actually shows up in the lock screen status bar. So when the lock screen's locked, the status bar will now show that little lock icon in the top center. And this is useful if you forget that you're still on the lock screen when you're having a iMessage conversation, or if you're just distracted and forget that you're still on the lock screen. Next is the optimized storage setting in music. So this will basically allow you to set a limit of how much music is allowed in the music app. So this can save you from using all your internal memory on music, because if you're like me and you have hundreds of gigabytes of music, you can easily fill up your device with music and not even know it. So this is great for setting a limit and will definitely come in handy for me. Up next is unlimited tabs in Safari. Now, I'm not sure if this is a great feature since it can slow down your browsing experience, if you have 30 tabs open, but you can now have unlimited tabs in Safari on iOS 10. The next feature is that you can access preset handwritten notes by turning the chat box in landscape mode. So if you turn your device into landscape, you will actually be presented with some handwritten notes that are already preset. That's not your handwriting, but these will also show the handwritten notes that you've written in the past. So you can send these preset handwritten notes or just create your own right on the screen. And you can also delete the presets by holding and deleting. Next up is the parked car feature in Maps. So this one is really cool. Every time I get out of my car when I go to a store or when I get home, I get a push notification on my device that tells me where my parked car is located. So basically you need a head unit in your car that uses Bluetooth. So if you can hook your phone up to Bluetooth in your car, then this will work for you. So next up is unsubscribing from email lists straight from the Mail application. So now the Mail app will pick up if you are being sent an email from being on an email list and give you the option to unsubscribe at the very top. So when you hit that unsubscribe button, the Mail app will actually send an automated email to unsubscribe you from that list. This is a feature that's been around for many years on many different devices and applications, but it's nice to have it finally integrated in iOS 10. Next up is a different vibration buzz. So if you are on an iPhone 6s, you will hear a different vibration buzz. So this is a very subtle feature and some may not even notice the difference, but there is actually a different vibration buzz. Next up is the ability to play music and take pictures simultaneously. So there was a version on iOS 9 where you were able to do this exact thing, but they later patched it, so it's great that it's back now. Unfortunately, you can't play music while taking video, but it's pretty cool to be able to take pictures and play music at the same time. Up next is a feature that actually a lot of people have talked about, but it's still going to be pretty unknown for those that have just installed iOS 10, and that is the ability to delete stock iOS apps. So we've all wanted to delete the Compass app or the Tips app, and now we finally can. So you can reinstall these stock apps in the App Store. So you can really delete every stock app, even if you think you're going to use it in the future, you just don't need it right now. You can go ahead and delete that because you can always reinstall it in the App Store. Up next is mail filter. So as you can tell, I use email a lot. So you can now filter messages by unread, VIP, and by specific email addresses. So this is pretty cool and will definitely come in handy for those heavy email users like myself. Up next is Bedtime, and Bedtime is a feature in the clock app that ensures you get a good night's sleep on a nightly basis. But that's not really what I'm so interested in Bedtime for. I'm actually more interested in the look. Could this be what the highly anticipated dark mode looks like? I mean, because iOS 10 was supposed to come with dark mode. It was rumored, and a lot of people speculated that dark mode was going to come to iOS 10, but it never did. But if you just look at the Bedtime feature here in the clock app, this looks exactly like what dark mode should look like. So I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one. Up next is color filters. So if you go to settings, accessibility, display accommodations, and then to color filters, this will allow you to change the colors and the intensity of your device. So this is really great for those who are colorblind or just can't see colors really well, certain colors very well. Or it could just be used if you really just want to switch things up and kind of just spice your phone up, have it different colors. Basically just make it look different than all the other phones out there. Up next are the breadcrumbs, which have a new look. So Apple has redesigned these breadcrumbs, which now show in the status bar. So they actually show up in the status bar like they did in iOS 9, but now they're to the left of the signal bar. So These were in iOS 9, like I said, but they covered up the signal on the Wi-Fi bars. So now that it's up there with them and it doesn't cover them, it looks a lot better. Up next is Game Center, which is actually now extinct. So you can search for it and you will not find anything. Up next is no more slide to unlock. That's right. So this is a feature that was on every iPhone ever since the inception of the iPhone. Slide to unlock has always been the way to unlock your device, and now with iOS 10, that is changing. You now have to press the home button to bring up the keypad or to unlock it with your fingerprint, so you can no longer just have your fingerprint on the home button. You actually have to physically press down on the button to unlock your device. Up next is Inline Safari Video. So like the iPad, the iPhone now has the ability to play videos inline instead of full screen. So if you go to a YouTube video, you can actually start watching it just inline right there. That way you can scroll down and read comments or do something else while that video is playing. Up next is the ability to clear all notifications at once. So this is something that's been needed for a while, and it is finally here with iOS 10. Up next is the ability to close all Safari tabs at once. So just like the clear all notifications, now there's a way to close all your Safari tabs with just one tap. So all you have to do is just long press on the tab switcher in the bottom right of Safari, and it will let you close all the tabs, and it will actually show you how many tabs you had open. Up next is the ability to avoid tolls and highways in Maps. So now Apple Maps will let you choose whether you want to exclude highways and toll roads on your way to your destination. So if you type in, if you want to go, maybe an hour or 2 hours away, somewhere you've never been, there could be an unexpected toll, or maybe you don't want to be on the highway because there's too much traffic, you now have the option to avoid those things. So also new in the Maps application is that it actually shows the current weather at your destination in the lower right corner. So this is great if it were raining at your destination, you wanted to maybe wait until it cleared up, or if you just wanted to look at it for reference. Up next is the ability to enable read receipts for specific conversations instead of a global setting. So now for a specific thread that you choose, you can actually enable read receipts instead of just a global setting for everybody being able to see when you read their messages. Up next is the ability to use Apple Pay as a payment option in Safari. So in iOS 10, Apple Pay is now a payment option on supported sites, and all you have to do is tap Buy with Apple Pay, put in your fingerprint, and you're done, just like that. So up next is a new sound from the keyboard. So that's right, the keyboard clicks actually sound different in iOS 10. They're a little bit softer, but it is noticeable. So I'll let you listen right now. So the final hidden feature in iOS 10 is that Apple actually warns you about simple passwords. So this is helpful for those who aren't as tech literate as some of us and may choose a simple password like 1111 or 0000. It basically tells them that those are commonly used and people can easily guess those and get into their device. So there you have it. I hope you guys discovered something new from this video. Make sure to let me know what your favorite hidden feature was and if you have any hidden features to add. And if you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. I create content mainly based around Apple, and I'm sure you'll love it. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.